Sports tourism receiving another shot in the arm as Bahamas Speed Week revival gets set to take off on November 30th.
People who like motor racing will also know that motor racing has one of the more upscale and largest audiences on the planet. So when our team, certainly in sports tourism, head by Tyrone Sawyer here, when we started examining this whole event, there was no question that it had the right kind of audience that we want to talk to. It had the right kind of history, and people with a great deal of nostalgia would remember what Nassau and Bahamas Speed Weeks was all about. And so it was an immediate embrace for us.
The international event will feature mini races set for Arawa Key and approximately $100 million worth of antique racing cars, which will go on display at different locations throughout Nassau. Sports racing is one of the most popular sporting activities in the world, and this event also has the potential to be a draw for the high-end visitor.
There is a little statistic I'd like to remind people about when we start talking about motor racing. Now, of course, this applies to the pinnacle of motor racing, which is Formula One. And those of us who wake up early in the morning to watch it, as we did yesterday, and go on, etc., and drone on other people, it is the most watched event in the world every single year on television, bar none, by far. If you ever want to hear an amazing statistic, is the thing that is watched most every year is the World Cup of Soccer, but it happens every 4 years. Next is the Olympics, which happens every 4 years. Next is the Super Bowl for football in the United States. Number 4 is every single one of 17 races every year for Formula One in terms of a global audience. So if you want to talk to people around the world and talk to them in a very special way, there is no sport on earth that does it in the way that Formula One does. And if you ever want to see hospitality, and if you ever want to see the creme de la creme of people, how they spend money without any concern, it is associated with motor racing more than anything else.
The Minister of Tourism is himself a big fan of car racing. It's a love, he says, he developed as a child.
The very first time I ever got put in detention, and the only time I got put in detention at Government High School, was because I refused to go back to class and was watching the people who were qualifying for the event down, because one of the bends for that event, and the short turn was right near the fence of Government High School. And so there is an ESPN video, in fact, where there are a couple of little boys running up and down in the middle of this thing where they shouldn't be. One of them was me.
The Bahamas Speed Week revival will take place from November 30th through December 4th, and legendary British racing car driver Sir Sterling Moss has accepted the invitation to attend as the first patron of the event. For the Tourism Today Network, I'm Gina Seeley.